name's Andrew Kirk, and this is my wife, Megan. We met 7 years ago. Both grew up in Lexington. Our families known each other for a while, and ended up connecting after I graduated college, and we dated for a year and then got married. And then a year later, had Ian, our little boy.
Yeah.
Is it a pretty typical pregnancy?
Yes. Yeah. So I had a very healthy pregnancy. I loved being pregnant, was super excited for, delivery and birth and becoming parents, and everything really couldn't have gone more perfect. I had the birth that I dreamed of. Ian came into this world just happy and healthy, and yeah, we never could have expected that there was going to be anything wrong.
Yeah, so I'd heard about newborn screening just through my education in medical school. Had known a little bit about the newborn screen and a little bit about the different diseases that are tested and why they're on the screen. And so when, it was either the day of or the day after he was born, when they came in to do the screen, it was, oh, okay, yeah, we'll find out results in a little bit, but I didn't give it a second thought, really. I knew it was standard, and it was a good test to find treatable illnesses, but never expected that we would really see anything else other than negative results on it. Mm-hmm. One of the prerequisites for a successful outcome in treating SCID is prior to treatment keeping the child infection free. And at least historically, a lot of the poor outcomes were because kids weren't identified until they were 6 or 9 months old and had recurrent kind of atypical infections, and they had poor nutritional status, and their lungs were really bad, and they were just chronically infected, and so they weren't healthy enough to undergo the classical treatment of bone marrow transplant. And so that's just, I think, shows the importance of identifying it early through a newborn screen. For so many of these illnesses, but definitely for SCID, where early detection and intervention changes the whole outcome.
The chances of a really good outcome like we've had with Ian is a lot less likely. What it felt like was a second chance at life. It gave us such a sense of hope knowing that we actually had a chance with a real life with him, and for everyone that we love to get to love on him the way that we always dreamed of. He received his modified stem cells on September 16th. That was his life day. And then, of course, that doesn't immediately, start building an immune system, but we knew that over the next few months we'd hope to start seeing signs of the T cells building. And so we really didn't know how long it was going to take, what the whole process after that was going to look like. But we got the news exactly 3 months later on December 16th that he had 306 T cells where he had otherwise had pretty much zero and no ability to make them. 300, of course, is well below a normal amount, but it showed that his body had responded to the gene therapy and that his body was starting to make T cells on its own, which was absolutely huge. So we still had to stay totally isolated because it's still very, very immunocompromised. Because of the newborn screen testing and that we were able to find out that he had no immune system and we needed to keep him isolated within the first week of life, we were able to keep him completely infection-free until he got his treatment, and really until he had a pretty much fully functioning immune system. He never had a fever, never had a runny nose. We were able to keep him completely isolated and completely free from exposure to infection, and I really do know confidently that the newborn screen was the first step in us being able to give him the care that he needed to be where we are today.